Hey everybody, Spoonfeed here, and today this is the first video of my new series about SEO, about how to start up your own site and basically everything that goes with it in order to have it rank and get some visitors and heck, might even make a couple of bucks while doing it. The thing is, you need a bunch of steps before you start your SEO adventure. The first thing is, well, the most important thing is, you need an idea. You need to fill up a niche somewhere that you think um, is there, or create an even better product. That's like the basis of marketing. Either you fill a gap that's in the market, or you take a product and improve on it. That's like the golden rule, and you should adhere to that. And for purposes of demonstration, I'm going to use a bogus, no, not a bogus idea, but it's an idea that I'm not gonna execute. So I'm gonna use it up until getting domain names and hosting, because after that I'll be using my own project for the demonstration of the tools and plugins and whatever you need. So let's just get started. Like I said, you need an idea. So let's assume you have an idea. In this case, my idea was that there's still no tool online which lets me put in a basic description of an insect that I saw crawling around my house or in my backyard in my garden, to look up what it is, or the name of it maybe, and then for let's say for measly sum per month or per year, you have an account that will give you more information on it, like if it's venomous or not, or if it when it breeds, how do you get rid of it, should you get rid of it, gives you detailed information. That is not online yet, and I think a lot of people around the world would happily want it. It certainly is functional as an application for your smartphone, because you could be walking around and you just see a beautiful insect, or any other creatures are fine as well, but insects are so vast and numerous that you, or if in case you find one that maybe doesn't exist yet, you can upload its picture. You can easily take a picture with your smartphone, upload it to the site, and have people look at it to try to determine what the species is. So yeah, that's the idea of the site. I think it could work out really easily, actually. And so you have your idea, and next up is keywords. Why do you want keywords first and not a domain, like an immediately have domain? Well, the thing is, you can have two domains. You can have a domain that has a brand name in it. I'm just gonna, because otherwise you're staring at a screen all the while, just fire up my browser to give you some examples. You can have two kinds of domain names. You can have domain name like this is just one version, one product. Google is also a fine example, but Coca-Cola is a example of a domain name that uses the product name. So because Coca-Cola isn't a service, it's not a thing. It's a drink, it's a beverage, and the name of the beverage is Coca-Cola. So the domain name is Coca-Cola. So that's a brand name based one. The same goes with me, sort of, because I have Spoonfeed, and Spoonfeed is the service as well as the brand name. So it works both ways. Now, for another one, which I'm just gonna have to research into it because I do not have a. Let's just say, oh, probably I have one. Yeah. I think this one exists. Must be. So translation.com. No, it doesn't exist. Well, okay. Anyone who wants to take translation.com, go for it. I'm just gonna do translation in here then, because I want a site like it. Oh, here, freetranslation.com. That's fine with me. Can't believe translation.com. No, Robert, not word. Freetranslation.com is a example of domain name that's service based. So you have basically in the domain name what the services you're offering. In this case, free translation. That's the thing that you're offering. So go think for yourself if you wanna do a brand name domain name, or if you want to do a service name, and the service is usually the keyword. So you're gonna research keywords, and that's where we'll start. So that was a lot of intro, but basically now you know what we're gonna do. Now we're gonna do now what was it again? Keywords. Okay, you're gonna go to this site, which is basically AdWords.google.com / like keyword tool external or something. But if you type in keyword tool, you'll see this site come up. You don't need an account for this, I think, but in case you want to link this to your Gmail account, you're more than happy to do so, more than welcome to do so as well. And you can, I think, store results or have it linked. I have no idea. Alright, so basically let me just, you can find keywords based on websites or on word or phrases, and you can make this as wide or as small a scope as you want. You can select different location if you want to target a certain market. You can target a certain language, and you can target certain devices. I'm gonna leave these for now. I'm not gonna even bother with it. Now you have two things that you wanna check out. First thing is, this is a keyword generator basically, because it gives you ideas for keywords that you might not have thought of, and you can repeat this process as many times as you like to get loads and loads of keywords. And then we'll go to the second phase of keyword research, and that's traffic estimator. Now traffic estimator basically does what it says. It gives you an estimate on how much people would visit your site if you rank #1 for that keyword in the Google search pages. This is a really rough value, but basically if the value is pretty high or in a certain region and you feel the competition is low, then that's a golden keyword that you should be focusing on, which we'll see in a minute. Let's just first go something. So we're gonna do insects. You can do one word per line, so that's not spelled correctly. We're gonna do insects like determining insect determining. There's a name for that as well, I forgot, but that's not a problem. We're gonna do description, and what else shall we do in there? insect terminating description. I'll leave it at that. We'll just see what it does. And you're gonna have to fill in this weird looking captcha. Hopefully it's correct, otherwise. Oh, if you sign in, I don't have to use that. Well, now here we have loads and loads and loads of keyword ideas. So as you can see here, it says here competition is very low, it says, but you know, that's something we need to find out. Globally, there are 60,500 searches for this one, and locally there are 40.5. So it means global is the world and local is whatever you put in here. So the United States is searching 40,500. So basically 2/3 of this whole search, the global search. So, you know, America, the US is a very good market to start with. Identifying insects, again, a low competition, getting 8,000. So if you would rank for insect identification and identifying insects, you would already have 50,000 searches per month for that keyword, and let's say 1% of that clicks on your site. That's 500 visitors. Like just like that, you got 500 visitors. Now you can rank for these easily, maybe. You know, is insect names is a very good one. The thing is, we're gonna do our own research into this, if it's low competition or not. So what we're gonna do is open this in. Ooh, is there a Google Insights for this one? Basically, this gives you when there's interest, and obviously in the summertime there's more interest in insect identification than in the winter times, because in the summertime insects are active, in the wintertime they aren't. So this may be a seasonal thing, but if you also target like around the equator, countries around the equator, you will find that, or even like markets such as Australia, you can see that they have a very high search volume as well for insects, whereas these hardly have any at all. So these are your biggest markets, and you can easily you just write all this information down. You're just gonna go, you can scribble it down on a piece of paper or pull up Excel. I'm gonna cover that in other videos as well, but just for the sake of completeness, write this information down. So, you know, have a chart on when interest is when there's interest in the keyword, if all the information is available, then what countries are very interested in this, so you can maybe have local pages for them. And here there are loads of other stuff that you can use, like insect guide or whatever. But we're gonna go back to identifying insects. I'm gonna click that in the Google Insights for that, and you can see the basic same shape. In the summertime it goes up, in the wintertime it goes down, and only United States has 100. So the other countries hardly ever search for identifying insects, but search for insect identification. It's also very important to know that these keywords basically mean the same thing, but apparently people are inclined to search for identification at the end instead of identifying insects. So now this one, beetles, is huge volume search, and it says low competition. Well, that's something, like I said, we determine later on. You know what, I'm gonna take these 3 keywords. Now beetles are, as you can see here, there are loads of different beetles. You can have beetles that mean the car or the insect. So, but there's loads of regional interest, and you can see here some rising searches, so maybe you can catch or latch on to these as well. Now we're gonna determine ourselves if the competition is low or not. So we're gonna go with insect identification. So you're gonna go to google.com. Just gonna put mine in. Mine is already in English. That's fine. And we're gonna go to insect identification. There it is. All right. So we have insect and spider identifications on North American bugs. We're just gonna open that site, see what it's about. Going to bug guide, and we're going to do that, and then the rest we just just take a look at what's in the top 10. There's a edu domain in here. There's a bug identification for New Zealand, Australian insect families, and there's some pictures in there. Entomologist, that's the word I was looking for. We can also use that. Alright, so we have here insect identification. This is basically what you want, but then you want to have this way more specific, maybe even. Well, let's just do one here. There was no secondary color. It had 8 legs, and it was found in Kentucky. Alright, search database. Now you get loads of spiders, but there's no real good way to separate these. Maybe if you quickly look at these and these, they could be the same. So immediately you see, okay, so there is some sort of identification for insects, but only in North America, only in the States, and you cannot really specify in detail what the insect looked like. So that's something to note. Is this a good site that you can easily outrank? I believe so. I mean, there's not really much going on. There isn't a, I was gonna say, is there no home page? I mean, the colors are a bit dull. There's easy, basic, I should say. There's a basic like markup of the site. So it's not really what we're looking for. We want something that's a bit more modern. Now here, maybe this is useful for some, but if you look quickly, the difference between these three can easily be confusing. So you're left with exact knowledge instead of just typing in it looked a bit like this and I think it was a spider. And ticks are spiders, but in case of normal people, maybe they think it was just an insect, which is, it's not an insect, it's an arachnid. So it's stupid things like that should be also covered in your site. Now let's just click one. Alright, now they do have pictures of them, but here you can hardly see what it is. I mean, and now you have all the names, which is fine, but if you don't know the name, then, and here there are characteristics only in text, not with a picture behind it. For example, again, this has a very stale looking like colors looking site, so there's a lot of room for improvement. We'll go to the last site, and this is just a very basic site, which has one person just, or not, maybe not one person, but just have photographs of this and hope that people will say what it is. So he might actually benefit from a site that we're gonna make. So again, how can you tell this good competition? Well, you can look at how old the site is. So this one is already from 2005, so it's been around for a long while. You can look at, well, the site structure. This is a basic site structure. It has some advertisements on there, but not much. It has a very basic interface for searching. So this probably will be doable to outrank in Google. I'll take a quick look at the big one, Beatles. We'll take a quick look at it. Next video I will show you a tool which will help with getting some more information from these sites, which will determine even better what the competition value is. Well, if you go to Beatles, you have the Wikipedia. Wikipedia entries are possible to outrank, so don't worry, don't think, oh, I'm never going to outrank that. That's perfectly possible. We have an edu.domain in there, an image of Beatles, UK Safari, Garden Safari, I think in Bug Guide, which we just saw, but insect identification is not on here, so yeah, it shows that Beatles is very much a possibility to outrank the other sites. Take these keywords and like buy insects and pest control. Pest control is probably very high competition. Why is it high competition? Because loads of people want to have the service of pest control. Now, these informational insects are low volume, but if you rank on them, like say informational insects, silverfish insect, desert insects, if you rank on all of them, you have another like 10,000 visitors. And if you rank on enough of them, like insects of Texas, you can easily make that insects of I don't know, Kentucky or Florida or California and so on, Ohio. And you have loads of more keywords. If you rank on all of them, all those keywords stack up and eventually will get you loads of visitors, which is what you want. Now, like what are insects? Something good page to be to rank for. We're gonna go with traffic estimator. We're going to let's do that one, and we'll take that one. And then you can say more like these. So it will give you even more keywords on, let's say, combination of insects and insect identification, and you can add more and then say more like these, and you will get loads and loads and loads of more keywords. We're going to do traffic estimator. And we're going to do insect identification. Only that one. We're going to do estimate. Value required. Which one is this? Okay. Well, that's not something we are going to do, because this basically is what is the maximum amount you want to pay if visitors click on your site in AdWords. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a high number, just so we get loads and loads of. Estimated daily cost is $21, which is way too high, and we don't want that. So, but this one will show you that if you want to rank number 1 on this AdWords, so you will be displayed here on the side. For other keywords, you average on $1.50 per click, and if you get on ad position 1, so at the top, you'll get 15 clicks per day, meaning you spend $20 per day on AdWords. And AdWords, as I said, are those like advertisements on the site of Google, but also on other people's sites. Can you get a lot of money out of this? Yes, you can. But the problem is, if you are on a daily cost of $20, you need to make $20 per day minimum as well. Otherwise, you're in loss. So that means that either you have to have a higher product than the estimate average, or make it a high conversion rate. And a conversion rate is when people that go to your site buy your product or buy your service. That's conversion rate. Normal conversion rate 20%. That's pretty high for sites. 20. Some sites only have 1% conversion rate if you're in a obscure niche. Some people have 50% conversion rate. They're pretty high. They might offer a service that's just everybody who looks for that service wants it. Let's take Adobe Flash. If Adobe Flash was to be paid for and it was the only product around, it would probably have 100% conversion rate or near 100, because loads of people want Flash to look at everything on the web. So I'm glad they made it free, but it would probably have a high conversion rate. So use these two things for information, to make a plan about what keywords you want to target, what traffic will drive them, and yeah, just have a big list of keywords that you want to target for. And next up, we will discuss domain names, how to get one, and what a domain name should look like, based on keyword research, in fact. So I hope this has informed you of the first step you need to take, which is think of an idea or service or whatever gimmick that you want to put on the web. And then next thing is keyword research on what would benefit your site in terms of keywords. And I'll see you next time for discussion on domains.